Early morning on the New York subway, cars are packed with commuters. Some hunch over their laptops typing, others zone out to their podcasts with headphones on. Even if shoulders brush occasionally, people adjust their posture. Nobody wants to break that invisible, safe distance. This subtle way of getting along? It's the hedgehog's dilemma playing out quietly in everyday life. The hedgehog's dilemma comes from philosopher Schopenhauer's fable. In the bitter winter, hedgehogs huddle together to stay warm, but their sharp spines prick each other, forcing them apart. After trying again and again, they finally find that perfect sweet spot, a distance where they can share warmth without hurting one another. It sounds simple, but it nails the essence of how people get along in society. Especially in Western cultures that value individualism, knowing how to handle distance has become a cultural norm and a survival skill. The workplace, balancing efficiency and respect. At work, the hedgehog's dilemma is the core of building healthy collaborative relationships. Google's office design is a perfect example. Its headquarters, the Googleplex, uses open workstations to make instant team communication easy, but it also has tons of quiet pods. These are closed, single-person nooks with soundproof glass and comfy chairs, and employees can book them anytime. This design isn't random. It's rooted in a deep understanding of the hedgehog's dilemma. When employees need to focus on tough tasks like coding or project planning, the quiet pods act as a mental barrier, blocking out distractions. The open spaces, meanwhile, let creativity spark through teamwork. Google's internal surveys show this adjustable distance setup boosted employee productivity by 30% and cut turnover by 18%. Microsoft's remote work policy also puts the hedgehog's dilemma to smart use. Back in 2022, Microsoft rolled out a hybrid work model, letting employees work from home 2 to 3 days a week. Behind this policy is respect for employees' mental distance. Some folks thrive in the focused vibe of working from home, while others need the office's collaborative energy. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella put it best, real team collaboration isn't about shoving everyone into the same room. It's about letting people bring their A-game from a distance that feels right for them. The data backs this up. After launching hybrid work, the number of creative proposals from Microsoft employees jumped 25%, and team conflicts dropped 12%. That's the heart of the hedgehog's dilemma at work. Distance isn't a wall. It's how you make collaboration work better and respect feel real. Family, the glue that binds love and independence. In family life, the hedgehog's dilemma is the invisible tie that keeps family bonds strong, especially between adult kids and their parents. In the U.S., most 18-year-olds move out of their parents' houses, renting their own place or living on campus. This isn't disrespectful, it's a reflection of the sense of independence in Western family culture. Take Emily, a girl from Los Angeles, California. On her 18th birthday, her parents gave her an independence package, a bank card loaded with money they'd saved for tuition and living expenses, a rental agreement template, and a note that said, "We'll always have your back, but you've got to steer your own life." Since then, Emily has dinner with her parents once a week and shares updates via video calls, but her parents never pester her about the details of her social life or job. "Their respect makes me want to open up more on my own," Emily says. "If they called to check up on me every day, I'd just feel smothered." This caring from a distance is the soul of the hedgehog's dilemma in Western families. Love isn't about clinging, it's about giving each other space to grow, while holding on to that warm connection. German parenting wraps the hedgehog's dilemma into early education, too. At a kindergarten in Berlin, every kid has their own little cabinet and activity corner, with their names stuck on the cabinet. Teachers tell the kids, "This is your space. Nobody touches it without asking." When kids fight, teachers don't jump in right away. Instead, they guide them to say, "I need a little space." This teaches kids from a young age to respect others' mental territory. German educator Karl Jaspers once said, "A good parent-child relationship is like two hedgehogs huddling for warmth." It doesn't leave the kid lonely in coldness, and it doesn't suffocate the parents with overprotection. Social life, your passport to politeness and boundaries. In social settings, The Hedgehog's Dilemma is your unspoken etiquette guide, especially when you're with people you don't know well. At UK cocktail parties, you'll rarely see someone get too close to a stranger. People usually stand about an arm's length apart, holding a drink and chatting softly. Topics stay on safe ground, weather, art, travel. Nobody casually asks about someone's income, age, or marital status. Elizabeth Holmes, a London etiquette expert, explains, British social distance isn't cold, it's good manners. It keeps the other person from feeling awkward, and it keeps you from overstepping. Once, a Chinese tourist at a London party asked a woman her age. The woman smiled and said, "That's a fun question, but I'd rather hear about your trip to London." This polite brush-off is the Hedgehog's Dilemma in action. Respecting someone's privacy boundaries is how you keep interactions comfortable for everyone. American neighborhood relationships follow this rule, too. In New York's suburban neighborhoods, neighbors help each other pick up packages or watch pets, but they never drop by unannounced. If you want to visit a neighbor, you always call to plan it first. If you see a neighbor busy in their yard, you just wave from afar. You don't barge in and interrupt. The Marxes, who live in the Boston suburbs, say, "We're on great terms with our neighbors, but we don't meddle in each other's lives." Last winter, our neighbor shoveled our driveway, and we gave them homemade cookies in return. This give-and-take distance is what keeps our neighborhood close. That's the core of the Hedgehog's Dilemma in Western social culture. Distance isn't about being distant. It's about keeping relationships harmonious by keeping them just right. Public spaces, balancing order and freedom. In public spaces, the Hedgehog's Dilemma is the invisible rule that keeps things orderly, making sure everyone can enjoy public resources while respecting others. At cafes on Paris's left bank, you'll see people sitting at outdoor tables, with about half a meter between each table. Some read alone, others chat softly with friends. Even if you hear the table next to you, it never feels annoying. Pierre, a cafe owner, says, "We designed the tables spacing like this on purpose. We want guests to feel the cafe's lively energy, but still have their own little space." Once, a tourist tried to push two tables together. Pierre politely explained, "I'm sorry, but that would bother other customers. If you need more space, we can get you a private room." This respect for public distance is the Hedgehog's Dilemma in public life. Everyone's freedom should never come at the expense of others. New York's Central Park shows this even more clearly. On sunny weekends, the park is packed with people sunbathing and having picnics, but everyone automatically leaves a meter or two between their blankets. Kids play on their own blankets, and parents make sure they don't run into other people's space. People who play guitar and sing pick quiet corners so their music doesn't disturb others. A senior who visits the park often says, "Central Park is like a big stage. Everyone plays their part, but nobody crosses the line. That's why it's always so nice here." This self-aware sense of distance is the foundation of public order in Western societies. The Hedgehog's Dilemma isn't a restriction. It lets everyone enjoy freedom in public while respecting others' rights. The Hedgehog's Dilemma, not coldness, but a more mature way to connect. Some say the Hedgehog's Dilemma has a cold vibe, but in Western societies, what we see is a more mature, long-lasting way to get along. It's not about refusing to connect, it's about refusing to over-rely. It's not about pushing people away, it's about keeping relationships lively by keeping them moderate. In Western cultures that value individualism, the Hedgehog's Dilemma works because it fits a double need. Everyone wants their own mental territory, but they also want warm connections with others. The right distance is where those two needs meet. In the digital age, the Hedgehog's Dilemma matters even more. Social media has blurred the physical distance between people, but managing mental distance has become trickier. Young Westerners share their lives on Instagram, but they set privacy settings so only close friends see their personal stuff. They post opinions on Twitter, but they don't tag people they don't know well. They don't want to bother anyone. This way of handling online distance is the Hedgehog's Dilemma for the digital era. No matter how technology changes how we interact, respecting boundaries will always be the key to getting along. Hedgehogs in winter find the right distance, warm, not hurt. People in society need that same wisdom. In Western workplaces, families, social circles, and public spaces, the hedgehog's dilemma isn't a cold rule. It's a warm philosophy of connection. It teaches us that true harmony isn't about getting as close as possible without holding back. It's about finding that sweet spot between warmth and respect, where everyone feels comfortable.